award-winning, I don't know if we're award-winning, but a very popular Coach's Corner. So where would you like to go with that?
All right, great. I'm glad you brought it up. So I want to kind of stick with the theme I started with earlier of including women's college basketball. So really, I just wanted to kind of discuss some of the key differences, not in style of play or anything like that, but rule-wise with the between the men's college basketball and the women's college basketball. So some of the differences. So probably the first difference that probably everybody knows about is the size of the basketball. Okay, so the men's basketball, I want to say, is 29.5 inches in diameter, and the girls is 28.5, and that's the same in high school as well as college. So I don't think that's a surprise to anyone. And not all of these are going to be differences, by the way. Some of these will be maybe surprise you or the same. So another difference and has to do with and this one has always bothered me a little bit about the men's side. So in high school basketball, middle school basketball, little dribblers basketball, for the most part, you play 4 quarters. Well, then you get to college on the men's side, you play 2 halves, or the women still play 4 quarters. So, that's another difference there. And then you get to the NBA and WNBA, and you're back to 4 quarters for everybody. Here's one that may surprise some people out there. Maybe you know it, maybe you didn't know it. But the 3-point line in the men's NCAA and the women's is the same. And so that currently is 22 feet, 1 3/4 inches for both the men and the women. So for some of those that people that say it's so many differences, or, the women can't compete because of their strength. I mean, they're shooting from the same distance. So those are kind of the main differences. It used to be at one point there was no 10-second violation for the women to get it across half court. That, of course, has been changed. Anyway, the reason I bring all this up, if you have not watched women's college basketball or not a fan, if you're not a fan, it's because you haven't watched it. Those games are very intense. Those tournaments come down to it. Obviously, I loved it a few years back when Notre Dame was up there. But anyway, my point to this is I want to give you some of the minor differences and point out the similarity with 3-point contests. But if you're not a fan of women's college basketball and the women's tournament, that means you haven't watched women's college basketball. So definitely the upcoming season, give it a shot. You won't be disappointed. Mm-hmm. So anyway, there is my Coach Tripp's take, Coach's Corner with Coach Tripp. So I'll kick it back to you, T-Mac.